Hi, my name is Teri Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is video 5 in the Christmas in July 2022 project series of videos. Now, this is a collaboration with Lisa Fisher of Lisa's Paper Lace and Bling, and she has an Etsy store, a Facebook group, and a YouTube channel, and all those links are going to be below, so be sure to go over there. The links of everyone else in the collaboration are also below, and it would be great if you could go visit their YouTube channels and subscribe to them as well. If you're one of the collaboration people, or if you're making a video on your own, or a flip through, or showing your project in the group, then use the hashtag Christmas in July 2022 project for all of your videos and flip throughs and photos, and then that way everybody that does a search for this will be able to see your project. Okay, so now we've got, so far I've decided on, this is the cover page. This is going to go inside the cover in a pocket. We've got our 2 signatures. We've got a bunch of stuff already made. If we have time, I may go through that again as a refresher. So we'll set this stuff to the side. You have to excuse my voice. I'm not well today, but hey, you gotta record. The recording must go on. So what we were working on was a flip out. Now I went ahead and made mine so that you could see what it's going to end up looking like. So the inside of our flip out, we're going to cut part of the envelope top off because we don't need the whole thing. Then we're going to cover the inside in here, add a card, cover this part, cover the front, add a pocket, and put in another card. Now we may not have a card. Oh yeah, there's the card for it right there. So that's what we're going to do. Then we're also going to make something else, and unless everything goes south with me not feeling well, we'll get all that done. If not, I will stop the video and then pick up again where I left off and merge them all into one, just like I do when we reach the 30-minute mark. Okay, so we can set these things aside, and let's look at the envelope. Now, I've pre-inked it. You don't need to ink the flap. You only need to ink where the flap meets the envelope. You know, flip it back and ink that. And you need to ink this here on this one. Remember, we talked about cutting these off first. There's little tabs on here, and I'm pretty sure I showed you that in the last video before we got done, and I think I showed you the inking. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, is this the pre-cut? I thought I had one pre-cut for the front or the back, but apparently I don't. So we're going to, hold on a second. Okay, we'll make the front out of this piece. Oh, we make the back out of this piece, and we're going to line it with this piece. Okay, now that I've got my act together. So we're going to cut this piece down to fit. Here's our width. Let's get this here. You can move it back a little bit as long as it's at the very top. This is our length. Now we'll cut this to fit the front. thought I had it pre-cut, but I didn't. Or I did, and it's somewhere. I have a whole bunch of the blue ones and the red ones as scraps, so it's possible it got pushed over into the scrap pile. If so, we'll come across it later. Alright, so now this should fit the front. Okay. Remember, we're scruffying it up. Get back there. And my media grip, which works good for when you're inking. It also holds your paper down, or paper still when you're inking. And it does lots of other stuff. So I love it. It's $11, I think, for a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet from Amazon. I don't think I have a link to that below the video. In fact, I took all the product links off because it just made the text under the video too long. The links are in the PDF when you get the free PDF if you're a member of the Facebook group. And it tells you step by step how to do everything. I made shorthand notes for these videos, so it'll be interesting for me to go back and fill them in. Or since this is Christmas in July, we may not have a PDF for this. I don't know. Just depends. So we're going to cover the front. And then we're going to line the inside that you see. Yeah, we need 2 cards for this. I think I only have one set aside. Now why? Looks like I cut it crooked, but just at one end. I used a scrap, so the piece must be crooked at one end, and I didn't realize it before I used it. Let me double check. Just trimming it this little teeny bit. Shouldn't open the envelope. If it does, I'll just glue it back shut. Yeah, it opened it on this side. Just a little bit. Probably should have put that paper in before I glued it back shut. made a mess out of it. Okay, now we're going to take this piece. I'm going to slide it in here like this. And now it's not going to reach all the way because of the glue and stuff, but we're going to try to get it as close as we can. Well, that wasn't very close at all. Well, I mean it is, but... yeah, the problem is that I glued it too far over. So let's open that back up. We measure. Speaking of things going south, I'm just not sure how that happened again. Okay, we're going to use that, and we'll just glue it right in there. And then you want it to go down in, and then this is wider than your regular area. So you're going to ink the part you're going to see. And then I'm only going to ink the edge where people are going to be putting stuff in and out. If I thought about this, I'd have done this on mine, because on mine it doesn't quite reach. Finally, we're going to cut this down. We only need enough for a flap to glue on. And then on the back of this one, I used a lighter thing, and it looked pretty cool. This is the other part of the page. So I thought we would put it at one end, and at the other end we'll do something. Maybe a pocket on the back. There's no pocket on the back of the other one. This image is a little different though. Sorry for the sniffling. Now, putting this in this way means it's going to have to go on the right side of a page, unless we want it to be at the bottom. So if you put it on the left side of a page, it will flip it around, and then this will be at the bottom, which I kind of like it better that way almost. And this is shorter than the front, obviously. Okay. I filled my glue because I got tired of waiting for the air bubble, and because my glue was getting thicker. So adding more to it thinned it back out. Now, if you're using Fabri-Tac and your glue gets a little bit, starts getting a little bit thick, then use some acetone on it, or in it, and use the 100% acetone. Don't just dump in some nail polish, and you don't need very much at all. Just a teeny bit. And then, of course, you want to shake it up. I think this envelope is crooked. That is my personal opinion. This could be crooked because I cut it crooked. That is entirely possible, the envelope. You know what? I got lucky. I'll just ink it. Okay. So we've got that covered. So now this will determine the front and the back. I mean the top and the bottom. So we had better decide whether we want this at the top or at the bottom. I'm going to say the top, even though it looks better at the bottom. But that way, if we want to put a pocket on the inside, we can without covering up the design. So if we want this to be at the top, then we're going to flip it over, and this is going to be our top. Now, we can put the pocket on the side of the, where it goes in, which is what I did on this one. Or you can just flip it like this and put it on this side. So I think that I actually liked it better on that side. So I'm going to put it there again. I've inked it, kind of over-inked it. You're just going to glue the sides that aren't all jaggedy. I made that up. Oh, jaggedy. Well, I didn't make it up, but I mean, I should have said all jagged. Okay, I'm just going to get it all lined up. And it's because I trimmed that little bit off. Let's see what it looks like if I just ink it. Or I can trim it. That's the side we glued. And that little piece sticking out right there bothers me. Boy, that took forever. Alright, it's close enough to 30. Can't believe it took me 30 minutes to do that. We're going to go ahead and switch videos, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. While we were gone, I went ahead and made the card. This is one of the pages that I shrunk down. And then I just trimmed the corners. I made a little bit shorter at the bottom and a little bit shorter on this side, a little bit narrower. And on these sides both, actually. And then it fits right in here. Well, it did fit right in there. Now it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Anyway, I'll make a card for this one. I'll go by this size. Oh yeah, see, that's way larger. So we won't be able to use this at all. So now we've got a card for somewhere else. I will bet you $1 that there is a large pre-made card in here that would work, like maybe this one. And we can just decorate it. Let's see. That one's even bigger. Alright, well, I don't like it in there, even decorated. I don't think, but we can use it as a placeholder, and we can measure it for size, and then we'll know what size to make the card. Or we can use this one. But we may have glued this one differently, and that's why, you know, we need a different size card, because that looks smaller than this one. But then again, it's like an optical illusion because of the white around the edges. This is going to be a card anyway. So we're going to need to round the corners. I have no idea why that got stuck. Never had any trouble with it before. Must be a piece of paper stuck in there. I'll empty it out as soon as we're done. Anyway, I'll need to ink this. It has a pencil line around it because I had to draw a pencil line around it to get my scanning cut to cut it out. So we'll stick it in there temporarily. So that way we can say that these are done. Well, I'll need to ink that. So now we've got one for each signature of those. Now the last thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to make 2 large tuck spots and cards. Now it's going to be a little difficult without having the pages. So I left this together so that we had something to compare it to. The first thing we're going to do is cut it in half. Then on this one, this is the top, but they're going to be too tall. So we're going to cut about 1 inch off the top of this one. And about 1 inch off the bottom of this one. And we'll double check and see if we need to cut more off. We're going to have to do the width still. We're just looking at the height. Oh yeah, the height's going to be fine. Then we're going to take a 1/2 inch off of this side. And then we're going to go ahead so that we know which way it goes. And we're going to round this top corner. Okay, so now we know that it goes this way. And this one, we're going to take the 1/2 inch off this side. And that means we want this to be on the other side. So we're going to round this corner because this is the top. So that one's going to face that way. I might as well leave this out. So now we've got 2 tucks that are going to go on here. So we need to measure, let's cut this in half. I may need to get another piece of paper out. Now the card is going to need to fit in here. And we want to keep this part. So I'm going to mark it there. Remember, we've got glue. Let's do the height. This lines up almost exactly, doesn't it? Because the bottom corner's the same. Excuse me. Make our width out to there. And then we'll make the other card the same size as this one. You know, so we can make both of them the wrong size. I don't even know why I was trying to do it that way. That looks small enough to fit in there. We're going to round off. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to measure this and we want to keep this corner. We want to keep this corner. So we're going to measure it this way. I'm going to make it like this. And we're going to make it like this. This one goes with this one. And now I'll ink them off camera. Oh, we'll have to round the corners first. Oh, there must have been a paper clip. Yeah, there's a paper clip under there. This one will go with that one, and see that splatter will match that one. So we'll round all 4 corners on our writing cards. My voice is going downhill fast. Well, at least this one's going better than the last one, huh? Okay, and then I'll ink those off camera, and I'll empty this out as well, so I'm going to leave that out. So that's actually all we need to do for this video. It's going to be shorter. If I think of something else quick, then I'll add it on to the end of this. But for right now, that's going to be it for this video, my sick video. And I'll see you in the next video. And that'll be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.